We are live. Welcome to a special edition of the CK Podcast. I'm your host, Leo Biaz, and today we have a very special guest, 10th year seniors, CEO, editor, the host shebang, John Nutt. Brother, how you doing, man?
Right here, man. Right here. Can't complain.
Here in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I'm in Arizona, stuck in Arizona right now. Don't know when I'm going back to the Bahamas, but it doesn't make a difference. You could do anything anywhere.
So I know that everybody by this point should know that you're from the Bahamas, that you have the dopest website media company in the Bahamas that covers basketball culture, and you're somewhat close to Buddy. There are a lot of questions that we have on Instagram talking about Buddy, talking about Bogey, Harry Giles. You watched the game today. I was actually pretty. I got there around the fourth quarter because I'm in the process of buying a house. My wife and I making a big move in Sac, so we're staying home, y'all. I'm pretty excited to share that with you guys.
Congratulations.
Appreciate
You're
that.
not a free agent anymore.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. But so I missed the first through the third. I caught some really exciting stuff towards the end of the game. What did you think overall of today's game, and what should you expect from the Kings on July 31st?
Well, from the game, like I was watching the second quarter, so I didn't miss. But personally, I don't like the starting lineup. I feel that Buddy needs to be in the starting lineup because you need that type of offensive energy. I know Buddy is a slow. At this season, he seems like he's been slow getting his offense rolling. But like I know they want Bazemore in there for defense, but this is a sprint now. This isn't a marathon of a season. You need to be able to
Right.
go in there and execute and score because Bazemore is going to be important coming down the stretch of the games when you have him, and then Jeffries is coming along big right now. Like I think he's going to
He's
be someone
nice,
who
huh? He's
who
a hidden
he's going to
gem.
yeah, he's gonna get heavy minutes. I feel definitely he's gonna be a difference maker for the team. If the team makes the run to make the playoffs,
Hmm.
he is gonna have to be a part of the rotation,
So
9-man rotation, 10-man rotation.
so who started today? Was it Bazemore and Bogey?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so I
I,
believe that's temporarily because of Harrison Barnes barely joining the team a few days ago. So the presumptive starting lineup is De'Aaron Fox, Bogey, Harrison Barnes, Bielitsa, and Rashawn Holmes. Now
Rashawn Holmes, yeah.
we both talked about, and it was his debut today as well. We both talked about having Buddy in the starting lineup, which I've always said Bogey and Buddy should start together because this team is built on one specific thing, and that's to run and gun. And I feel like they should triple down on offense. I've always been in that type of mindset. Go with your strengths and sort of ignore your weaknesses to some extent. Obviously, you have to get stops down the stretch. That's what you got. That's why you have guys like Kent Bazemore, Corey Joseph, who could come in as specialists in key moments. But I feel like the Kings should be starting Bogey and Buddy together. How do you feel about that? Or is that too much offense and not enough balance for defense?
No, I'm the same way. I think it should be the same exact thing. You could put Bogey as small forward. That's the beauty of Bogey. Bogey's one of those players where he could run a point, he could run at shooting guard, and he could run at small forward. So even if you have De'Aaron play off the ball, which his quickness would then be elevated to another level of slashing to the basket, and then that would give the opportunity for Buddy to be a setup shooter as opposed to trying to dribble the ball too much and shoot the ball. Because we all know with Buddy, when Buddy gets it and he throws it up, he's better at not thinking than when he's overthinking and dribbling. What am I going to do?
Yep. Buddy Fuego, man. Buddy Buckets. Hey, that man gets buckets. No matter what anyone says about that dude, that guy gets straight buckets. And once he gets one to fall, watch out. He's one of those rare players that can
And
just put up, boom, like 17 points in like 3 minutes. Like, this dude has done it. I mean, this guy is crazy.
but it's something like with Kawhi today. Kawhi started the game off slow, like
Hmm.
1 for 10 or something like that. But then Kawhi caught fire. He went like what 5 for 9 at the end of the game, hitting big 3 pointers. It's just like that's the type of player Buddy is. When Buddy gets it going, you're not stopping him. Just keep feeding him the ball.
100%. 100%. And I feel like his offense dictates his defense. And we've seen a lot of effort defensively in these first three scrimmages. And I've always said this, and I feel like that's such a general thing for NBA players, just basketball players, even at the pickup level, college level, high school level, that if my offense is going, I'm going to play pretty damn hard on defense, going to get inside of you and then make you work. That's how a lot of players are programmed growing up, and it's no different for professionals. Now, there are guys who really specialize in defense, like the Corey Josephs, Kent Bazemores of the world, Patrick Beverley's type players. But the vast majority of players, I would say, are really dictated by how they perform offensively, and then their defense will then either step up or step down, because sometimes when Buddy Shot is not going, he's not focused on defense. He's getting beat on weak side. He's ball watching. A lot of the Kings players ball watch. I feel like the whole NBA ball
Oh yeah.
watches, but specifically Buddy. And I just feel like if you use him the right way, you will get the best results. You will optimize Buddy Hield in the best way possible, right?
Yeah, it's something where today watching the game, the point when he actually took off because he was slow at the beginning is when Kawhi Leonard got called for the charging foul. That there was a coach's challenge, but Buddy was playing hard defense, and
Right.
Kawhi flopped there too because Buddy swung and completely missed his face, and then he puts a shot up, and then he thinks, oh, let me Chris Bosh this and act like I got hit in the face. But after that, Buddy looked at Kawhi and he was like, "You ain't serious," and goes down, and his offense just starts clicking. But that's the whole thing. It's the defense. When Buddy is in tune on defense, his offense will be 100 times better.
100 times better. Exactly. Before we continue and get into some of these questions and break down a little bit more of the game, man, huge shout out to Medici Pizza, man. My guys hooked me up with this awesome t-shirt. They have one of the best delicious pizza in all of Sacramento. Shout out to my guy, Danny. Big time baller, awesome entrepreneur. Support your local businesses, y'all. Please, 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 right now, more than ever with this pandemic, your local businesses need you. They need you, man. They need you to support everybody. Come on, man. Let's be Sacramento proud. We appreciate all the support and all of our sponsors as well. Valley Tires and Climb Society, etc. Appreciate all the love and support, man. Let's get to one of the first questions. And it was, who do you think has played better so far in the bubble, Buddy or Bogey? And that comes from Kev1. And I'll let you go first.
To me that's a difficult question.
It's not difficult, but he's been better.
Buddy's been better, but the thing is, you still got to look at the versatility of Bogey. Like, Bogey is going to be that player that is going to be. He's just more versatile. That's just Bogey's game.
No doubt. But who's played better? But who's played better in these three? I'm not saying for sure Bogey's more versatile, but who's played better in these three games?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Buddy, even with the shooting percentage, isn't as high as people want it to be. It doesn't matter because when the shots fall, the shots are going to fall, and it's going to be timely shots. They're not going to be long twos. They're going to be threes that are falling. But Buddy showed he averaged 18.3 points a game in the scrimmage. This is someone who has gotten the coronavirus, came back, and he's still in great game shape, and he's still able to play his game.
He's Bahamian.
It doesn't matter. In a bubble, bro. It doesn't matter. You put him in any gym, it's a shooter's gym.
No, it's funny because that kind of triggered my brain when last summer when we were in the Bahamas. A lot of the Bahamian people, I was still in somewhat of a boat, still limping a lot with my ankle, and they would say, "Go inside the water. It's gonna heal you." And I just feel like the Bahamian culture is just it's such a beautiful culture first and foremost, but it's such awesome people where they have such faith and they're just built so strong, man. Like just such great athletes, and it shows in the guy like a Buddy Hield and the DeAndre Ayton, man. I mean, these guys are just physically monsters, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of that. It's crazy how many people we have like that, but it's just untouched to a point. Like we had, I could just go even with one of our high jumpers, Donald Thomas, was a basketball player. figured out basketball wasn't his thing and became a gold medal world champion in high jump. Like you just have these people that just switch sports at a late age. Like you barely see that anywhere else.
Exactly. So let's go on to the second question. Let's go with Abby Mel Geo9. He says, "What should the Kings do with Bagley given his injury history?" What do you do, John?
Man, I'm gonna go with the route what Buddy says, and just be patient. That's it.
100%.
Like he's having a hard time right now. Like this is a kid who had all the accolades whatsoever, everything, high school, college. He was just such a big time player, and it's not like he doesn't have the skill set. He just had bad luck.
That's
So
it.
I'm gonna go on the Buddy thing, and I'm gonna say, you know what? Kyrie Irving had the same exact thing, and look at Kyrie Irving now. Don't give up faith in Bagley because Bagley is going to be one of those players when it happens, it's going to be fantastic. The Kings are going to be able to reap the rewards of Bagley.
And I'll play devil's advocate, or not even. I would say I'm just gonna further validate what you just said. Right now, you have to be patient with such a young player who was a number 2 pick. It's not a matter of him not having the skill set or the skills. It's a matter of him just trying to stay healthy, which is a huge difference from being a bust like a Papagiannis who wasn't very good in comparison to a Marvin Bagley who, when he has played in limited time, he's shown flashes and he's been actually solid. For I would say he is a very good backup right now with the potential to be a very good starter down the road. Now, I'll say this right now, he has
Yeah.
no trade value. So, why on earth would you trade him, get ripped off, don't get as much value for him when you could just wait, play it out? You have time, okay? His schedule is on your timetable. So, why would you not use that to your advantage if you're a Vlade Divac? There's no sense of urgency to trade him. I know a lot of fans are frustrated, and that's just typically what NBA fans do and what they typically say. Let's trade a guy, he's garbage, he doesn't. But that's not how you run a business, okay? The way you run
No.
this business is in a very efficient way, using analytics, using the most data possible. And right now, if you gather data and you ask the other 29 GMs, they will tell you that Marvin Bagley does not have much value. But that doesn't mean that his value can't go up. It's like a housing market. We had a huge crash in 08. That doesn't mean that we're going to stay that low because they're eventually about to go high because teams will always need 6'11 forwards who can move the way he can, who can rebound the way he can. Even not worse. Give up on the idea of him being Luka. Like, okay, he'll never be Luka. Luka is a future Hall of Famer. Take that out of your minds. Let's just hope that he can somehow reach Sabonis as best case scenario. If he reaches Sabonis, you got something because Sabonis is an animal.
Yeah.
And prayers to him, man. I know he's out for the year. That's huge for the Pacers. I wish him good luck, but we all know they're not going to do much without Sabonis. But if he can reach his type of level, I think he got something, right?
And you also got to understand, look at Harry Giles and what the Kings have done with Harry Giles. You got to think of the same exact thing that they're trying to do with Marvin, because they could have easily given up on Giles a year ago when they made that trade with Dallas and just throw him in there as a piece, as a kicker to be able to get whatever. But the Kings have shown that they have some loyalty to players where it's like they know that it's a process to get them to the point where they're going to get. And think about this. The second contract isn't going to dictate max money. That it ain't gonna happen, Marvin. So you're gonna get a player at a good rate after a rookie deal, and then be able to, if he blows up and becomes a 15-10 guy, you're playing with house money now.
Right. If I'm him 2 years from now and his contract is up, if I was him and he had somewhat of a comeback season where he averages 13-10, 13-11, I would sign a 1-1, ball out again, bet on myself, then get paid. Right? That's
Yeah.
how I would approach that. Now for the Kings, I would say I'm about to give you 4 years, $50 million. Now that'd be a hell of a deal in today's NBA, because 450,
Yeah.
that's a bargain in comparison to what we thought of max money. Oh, Marvin Bagley is going to be a max player. let's sign Buddy now, let's sign Bogey now, let's do all this in order to sign De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley, the two cornerstones. Well, it hasn't happened that way. Things happen and life happens. The coronavirus happened. How will you adjust as a human being, as a GM, as a basketball player? These are all questions. They're all validations that we can apply in life. Like
Yeah.
sometimes things don't go the way you want them to, man. I'm sorry, but that's life. So, as you said, John, it's very important to get a guy like him, if you can, at a good rate. I feel like the Kings got Buddy at a great rate because, well, let's be honest, he was worth more money, but he took less money because he wanted to win, and Buddy was looking at it from a long term perspective as well, seeing okay, De'Aaron's coming up. I ain't trying to be too selfish because he got to get
Yeah.
paid, right?
It's
Bogey's coming
security
up,
too.
yeah, but like Bogey's coming up, he got to get paid, and unfortunately for Bogey, he's about to get a pay cut because of the virus. So
Yep.
Buddy actually scored by signing before all this, right?
Yeah, I said that to someone today. I said Buddy actually lucked out with not he didn't luck out because he
Yeah,
deserves every dollar that he gets.
right.
But if he would have waited and because Buddy's a person who bets on himself 100% of the time. Like he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't care. He knows himself and he's gonna bet on himself. Even if he bet on himself this season, it would have been a bad choice just because of the virus, because they would have come back and been like, we could have paid you this, but because income revenue is now taking a hit, we could only offer you this, which
100%.
would have been, things
Less.
happen for a reason,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and it probably would have been, what do you get, 86, right? It probably would have been like,
60.
yeah, I was going to say like 72, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Uh Bogey, unfortunately, Bogey, who knows, man? Like he might be sitting at 15 per year now. Like he went from like 19 to like 15 14. Honestly, and it's
Yeah.
not that he's a bad player. He's a very good player, but the way our situation is now, I just feel like that's just gonna happen.
Yeah, like you say, the market dictates what happens, so the market's in a weird place right now.
Our boy Charlie Boltman just asked, "Would you remove Divot's jersey from the Raptors for the damage he's done to the franchise?" That's harsh, but go ahead, John.
I'm trying to figure out what damage he's done, because when he traded for Buddy, it was the biggest mistake of, like, I'm never gonna forget watching ESPN. Like, this is the dumbest move ever. Blah
Yeah,
blah blah. It's terrible. Actually, it's a pretty darn good move.
it
Like,
was the best
long
thing that
term
could
looking
happen.
at it, yeah, long term looking at it, it's just like, oh, he got this. DeMarcus Cousins, what's he doing right now? Like,
Not just that,
like you said, things are weird. Like,
it indirectly led to De'Aaron Fox.
yeah. So I want people. I mean, I want Sacramento fans to know you ain't going to win the championship this year. You ain't going to win the championship next year. You're going to start making a run in 3 years. So I would say 3 years from now, you're going to have a good core. You're going to have good players to be able to start pushing when these other teams are getting older. You're building, it's almost like the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers are going to be done by that time as well. So you're going to be the hot and up and coming team, and it's just going to click. It's going to be an overnight thing. Like, okay, sure, you're borderline making the playoffs, borderline 500. The next thing you know, you're going to have a 55-win season, because it's just going to happen because you're using the building blocks in the right way.
You're very realistic, and you're talking from a very objective standpoint. Now I'm going to go very Kings bias and say, not win the championship this year, but next year make some noise, because if De'Aaron Fox can stay healthy, this guy has the potential to be a top 10 player, in my eyes, in the league, because he and Giannis are the most dangerous transition players in the NBA by far. I mean, when De'Aaron Fox is on, this dude is just a beast. He's an animal, okay? Uh, and to your point, it's so important to have consistency. And I know you want this core to stay for a while, but in your eyes, is this core of a De'Aaron Fox at his highest peak, which, again, I think could be top 10. Buddy Hield at his highest peak, which to me, he's top 3 shooter in the world, in my opinion. Uh, Bogdanovich, a phenomenal player who can do it all. who's not great at one thing. He's just good at a lot of things. You always need those type of players. Do you think? And then Rashawn Holmes, which I feel like is a gem, and he's one of the best defensive players at his position. Like, I know it's not a popular thing to say, but he's been so amazing all year long. He's been elite defensively. Can he? Can he
But from the
sustain it?
first game, I said he should have started.
I remember
From
that
the first, because it was the Deadman thing. I've always said I watched him last season in
with the
Phoenix.
Suns.
I
Yeah,
watched 17 Phoenix. Yeah, I went to 17 games last season for the Suns because of DeAndre Ayton, and I watched Rashard Holmes, and he was just an energy guy, not selfish, and I just loved his game. Like his game, it wasn't peak top 50 player, but it was a solid he could contribute so well, and he does the things he does well. That's it. He's not trying to do more. And that's what you got to love about Rashawn Holmes. You need players like that to be able to be on the court. And you know what? If you're good at rebounding and getting offensive rebounds and getting easy layups and dunking on people's heads,
that's winning
be
games.
great at that. Yeah, you don't have to do anything more than
No,
that.
I don't know why people treat these players like they're so easy to get and they're so easy to find. You know how difficult it is for a millionaire young guy in his 20s to accept a role like that and then excel in that role. It's it's easy to say it out loud in hindsight, but it's rather difficult to find that type of guy. Rudy Gobert is probably the best at it. He's accepted his role, and you see the type of results he has given the Utah Jazz. Rashawn Holmes is not 7'1" or 7'2" like Gobert, but he's a much better perimeter defender, which, again, he gives up size, but in the size, he's giving you a lot of versatility defensively. Now, a lot of people would say, including myself, well, what if he was your sixth man like a Montrezl Harrell? If Rashawn Holmes is your sixth man and there's somebody better than him starting, you probably have a championship caliber team because Montrezl Harrell is coming off the bench and they are a championship caliber team, right? But as of right
Yeah.
now, I am A-OK with Rashawn Holmes being your starter. I mean, this dude is solid. And this dude's going to do the little things, as you said, to win basketball games, right?
You got to look at someone like Rashawn Holmes too. I think he wants to be in Sacramento. Like he's not going to be one of those players like I'll never forget when Buddy said it, like, no one wants to come to Sacramento, and that's not a lie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sacramento people, but it's not a lie. But you build a culture in a way where, and like it goes back to the Vladi question. Vladi's building a culture that people are going to want to be here. You treat your players a certain way. You play a certain style. Rashard Holmes went to Sacramento because what other team offered him?
Yep.
No one.
Nobody.
But I guarantee he's been in Sacramento long enough where he loves the city, he loves the fans, and he's going to be loyal going forward because he sees what's happening.
100%. Chris Webber didn't want to be here, right? But once he got here, he loved it. Same with Bobby Jackson. You just fall in love with the city. You fall in love with the fans. You see the growth of the city from a business perspective, how much it's grown and how much it's competing against larger markets now. Brand new arena, so much real estate happening all around it. So you're right. It's how do we get this player to come to SAC? Because we know it's not the most enticing thing, but once they get here, we'll bet on ourselves, our city, and our people to make them feel at home. And I feel like a lot of the players that have come through here really enjoy their time. And even a guy like George Carl, who's been very aggressively, what's the word? Not mean, but he's been very critical of this organization. He's been very. He's said a lot of good things about this about the fans and the city. Like he said, he loves it in Sacramento, and that's not a lie. Like he loved being here, but he didn't see eye to eye with the organization, with how things ran, and obviously that was right when Vladi got there. Vladi didn't know this guy, like he knew of him, but again, George Karl came because of Pete D'Alessandro, so you just don't see eye to eye, right? And sometimes your GM just wants to bring in his own people, which is essentially what Vladi has done. He's had the reign to do it. I'll never forgive Vladi for not drafting Luka, but at the same time, he did good things like trade for Buddy Hield, right?
Yeah, I mean, like the Luka thing, we look back at that in years, and it's just like, man, he could have had Luka.
We
But
looked at
hey,
that the
if you
day
win
it
a
happened,
championship in
and
the
the day
next
it happened,
five,
it was a
yeah,
mistake.
in the next 5 to 10 years, if you win one championship, no one's gonna care about Luca
That's true.
because
That's
that's all
true.
it takes, winning. Like if Marvin becomes a Andrew Bynum type player where you go to the finals and he has a big role, no one's gonna care.
100%. 100%. Someone said, should the Kings trade for Blake Griffin?
No,
Thank you. No,
no.
I'd say no.
I like Blake. I
Me
think
too.
he's a good guy.
I like Blake.
He's a good player, but no, he can't. It doesn't fit the team. Let's just put it that way. He's a Buddy Hield forward. He's a volume shooter. He has to have the ball in his hands. And if you
And he's
put
not worth
someone
the
like that
damn
on the
price
team, he
tag.
wants to ISO.
He he
Yeah,
he's not worth the
no.
price tag. Uh, do you think the Kings will end up trading Buddy to the Lakers or the Sixers after this season?
Well, I can tell you one thing. Wherever he gets traded, that's what I'm pulling for. So it doesn't matter if he gets traded. I don't think, boy, if he gets traded to the Lakers, I guarantee you, they would win the championship that season. Because it's just something that would happen with Sacramento hating LA. You trade him to LA, all of a sudden, Buddy averages 24 points a game with LeBron, and it's just like everyone's like, "Oh, well, we could have had that." There'll be a big mistake, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot easier playing with LeBron James. It's like if Buddy would have played with Luca, right? We've had these conversations. He would have loved to play with Luca because he knows he would have been open a lot. Those type of players,
Yep.
which is the following question, as a matter of fact, your top 5 point guards right now, guys like LeBron James and Luka Doncic will open up so much for all your players. And guys who are shooters slash scorers like a Buddy Hield, they love playing with those type of players. So without further ado, who is your top 5 current point guards right now? I don't know if you have them top of your head, but I can give you my list. And my list is a little bit unorthodox because what I consider a point guard, the vast majority may not, because a lot of people go off of what they're labeled as. But to me, the top 5
Yeah.
point guards in the NBA is Steph Curry, James Harden, Damian Lillard, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James. Those are my top 5 point guards in the NBA. How do you feel about that list?
Yeah. Well, I think LeBron's the best player in the NBA. So
Okay.
LeBron would be number one on any list except maybe center. But I just feel like LeBron as a playmaker is the best ever. I think he's better than Jordan. People are gonna be like, "Oh no, no, no!" I think LeBron's better than Jordan. It's just he's just that great of a talent. In point guards, I don't know. Like I said, and Damian Lillard for sure. Damian Lillard's up there, at
Steph.
least number 2, number 3, because Damian Lillard's one of those players where he just has the grit, the grind, and I don't know, something about his aura, like he just hoops. That's the biggest thing. Steph for sure, just because he could shoot the ball, lights out, and that just opens everything. It's like a LeBron thing. LeBron opens the game up because he could penetrate, he could shoot, he could do whatever. He finds his teammates. Steph is the same way, just based on shooting value alone. I wouldn't put James Harden as a point guard. I think Russell Westbrook is more of a point guard to me. Like he's just, even though he's a slasher, I think that he's up there just
But
because he
James
could play
Harden
make
has the
as well, you
highest
know?
usage rate in the NBA.
Yeah, but
I know by definition he's a
I,
shooting guard, but I mean the guy is a point guard. I mean the guy is the guy that facilitates your offense. You know what I mean? Like,
I get what you're saying,
yeah,
and like I said, if you're going with facilitates, yeah, but I think point guard it'll be Russell for sure. Like he's up there in the league. Like he's a person. I guess he's like a De'Aaron Fox type player, you know.
okay.
But De'Aaron Fox, I think, will have a higher ceiling with playmaking because I think he's more unselfish than Westbrook.
Is
And then the last
is
one,
Luca a point guard to you, or is he a small forward to you?
Luka's both. Like,
Luca's everything, but yeah.
yeah, Luka's both. Like you put him in. Like the thing about Luka is you could put him anywhere and he's going to hoop. Like it doesn't matter. He's like a Magic Johnson style player to me. You could put him at center and he'll figure out a way how to play that position. to make it matter. And that's the thing. Like these are players that could play a position and make it matter. But I would say I wouldn't. I don't know if he's one of the best, but I love Trae Young.
Me
Like
too.
to me, Trae Young is one of those players where he's just cold blooded. Like he reminds me of the Buddy attitude, but he's just I don't know. There's something to
He's
his
just
game
so
where
much.
I just love
He's
it.
such a lethal passer. He just has such high
Yeah,
basketball IQ, right? That's what separates him from Buddy. I would say that his IQ, his ability to skip pass with both hands at an elite level is so freaking impressive. I mean, coming out of college, people would talk shit like, "Oh, well, he's too small. He's this, he's that." But I was like, have you seen him play make? Like, have you seen his ability to create so much space just based off shooting? Like, that's going to work at the NBA level. And his handle is so nasty. So if you have a handle,
yeah.
if you have IQ, and if you have shooting, that sounds like a poor man's version of Steph Curry. And anytime it's a poor man's version of Steph Curry, you're a pretty damn good
Take
basketball
it.
player. Like,
You
pretty
take
damn
it.
good.
Yeah, no, it's like you say, the point guard thing. Like, I definitely put LeBron in there, like number one, easy.
Okay.
Like that's all. That's end of conversation. Best point guard, best shooting guard in the league, LeBron James. Best small forward,
Well,
LeBron
to me, the
James.
best player is Giannis, but I mean that's a separate conversation.
Yeah, no, people are gonna. Giannis is a great player too, but LeBron is LeBron. Like, I don't know.
I just feel like
He's my
Giannis is
Jordan.
so elite defensively, and he's so elite offensively that I just have to give him the nod. Like LeBron is right there, but it's just Giannis is something
I
different,
just
bro.
think people like to hate on LeBron's
Oh yeah, for
defensive
sure.
game, and it's just like, okay, no, like LeBron he stops plays. Like, and yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Okay, so someone said, name something more impressive than John Stockton leading the NBA in career assists without ever making a single left-handed only pass. LeBron James, Luka Doncic is more impressive than John Stockton.
Yeah, I love John Stockton, but nah.
Yeah.
Like, you have these players right now. LeBron's block alone in the NBA Finals was
Yeah.
more impressive than any assist that John Stockton made.
So someone said, imagine Buddy being criticized by LeBron in the LA media.
See,
Hey,
LeBron wouldn't do that though.
it'd be comedy. Like, Buddy he does what he wants and he just says what he says. Like, he means what he says and he says what he means, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
no, yeah,
buddy.
that's the thing. But people can't take it too personal what Buddy says, because that's just how we are. We're just gonna say it as it is. Like, that's it. End of story.
Facts. I mean, he wears his emotion on the sleeves and he's just going to speak his mind. Sometimes it doesn't come across in the best way, but he means no harm by it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just how he is. If the Kings don't make the playoffs, will Vladi's job be in jeopardy? I say no, even though it should be,
No.
but I say no.
Nah. Well, they're not making the playoffs. Like, that might be a little later on what we're talking about, but I don't think they make the playoffs.
So who do you have making the
But
playoffs?
no, the Suns.
What?
Yeah, I love how the Suns are playing. I think the Suns are gonna get it over the top.
Oh my God. Damn, that's hot take. Hot take alert. Boom, 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 boom. Phoenix Suns. That's the first one I've ever heard someone say Phoenix. Hey, they got their whole team back. And I tell you what, I watched one game. They looked real nice. They look nice. But can I trust DeAndre Ayton in big moments? And you know me, I've been a huge critic of him since day one. I don't know if I can trust him in big time moments. He's looking good, but can he do it in non-scrimmages where games actually matter? Can they?
We'll find out. But I know what you're saying with that. But he's averaging 19 points a
Yeah.
game this year. I really feel that this bubble is something where, like LeBron James, for example. LeBron James has all the freedom in the world. No one's looking over his shoulder. No one's taking pictures. No one's asking him anything. It's just all NBA players. I feel that with the Suns, it's the same exact thing. Like even with Aiden, where Aiden doesn't have to worry about anyone, anything. He's just going out there and hooping. And
That's true.
I think with the entire Suns team, they're going out and just hooping, and that's all they have to care about. They don't have to care about media availability. They don't have to care about doing this, doing that. And I just think that they're gonna make a surprise run and hit that last playoff spot.
Okay, interesting. Respect that. I think it's going to come down between the Pelicans and the Kings, but the Suns are good. I mean, the Suns are well coached. I trust their coach more than Luke Walton. Not in a disrespectful way. I just think he's done it longer. He's more respected around the league. He has more experience and bigger moments, and I feel like that could hold a lot of weight. But I just feel like the Kings have a better roster from top to bottom, and that's why I got the Kings and the Pelicans duking it out for that ninth spot, because Memphis is going to stay in the eighth spot for sure. But it's going to come down to that
Yeah.
play-in tournament, right, where the ninth you got to beat the AC twice, and the AC got to beat the ninth once.
I feel whoever makes that ninth seed is going to get in.
I agree.
Like regardless of what team it is.
I agree. With that, I just don't
Yeah.
think
So
Memphis.
whoever makes that ninth seed.
Yep. I just don't see Memphis sustaining that because of their youth. And again, if you want to talk about a young coach, their coach is one of the youngest, and he's done a marvelous job this year. Who the hell would have thought Memphis would have been in this situation? Like, he has to be considered for coach of the year. Like, he's been that good.
But look who they drafted. Like,
yeah, I mean, they drafted the best big, and I told you this months before. Jaren Jackson is the best big in the draft. People laughed at me. I'm like, I think he's better than back then Aiden. Long term, Aiden had all the physical attributes and the ability. Like, oh my God, this guy's built in the lab. But I always base my stuff on, can the guy play? What's he great at now? And to me, Jaren Jackson was already elite defensively, and he's somewhat struggled defensively in the NBA, believe it or not, because he fouls way too much. A lot like most young bigs do. Like, young bigs tend to be too, happy, and, they jump on everything. They want to block everything, just like Aiden and Jaren and all these young guys. But his offense has been just insanely surprising, right? Where he's coming off of double stagger screens, fading away. Like, what the? Why doesn't Tom Izzo allow his players to shine like that? You know what I mean?
You got to remember, though, like when these kids come out of college, even Buddy had this problem. They are the top of the top elite in college. They are top of the top elite in high school. When you hit the NBA, that shrinks. Everyone becomes closer together in skill and athleticism. So it just completely changes the dynamic. So you actually have to learn how to do things. That's why Luka's so great, because Luka played with pros for 3 years before hitting the NBA. So it's just like you're playing with pros, and playing the pro game is different than playing the college game.
100%. Javier Muhammad says, news. The Heat may be not making a new contract for Bam Adebayo to make cap space for Giannis. So maybe the Kings should take this advantage and trade Bagley and Barnes. Well, I can tell you right now, they're going to re-sign Bam Adebayo because they love Bam Adebayo. And Leo and John loves Bam Adebayo. I mean, I love Bam Adebayo. This dude is a beast. I loved him since the second year when I watched him at the Summer League Classic in Sacramento. I said, this dude's going to be a star. And it's all documented, by the way. Go back to the vlogs, and I said that. I said, this dude is playing point forward. He's doing it all. And I admit it. I wasn't as high him coming out of the Kentucky, because I was like, man, he's undersized. Yeah, he's strong, but he proved me wrong. And I jumped on the bandwagon right away. I was like, I'm wrong. This dude, I'm buying stock in Bam right away. He's not coming to the Kings because the Heat are going to sign him. They may not. I don't know how he feels about that. Like, if I'm
they're going to sign him. It makes no sense not to sign him. Like, even if you use him as a trade piece. If the Miami Heat do not re-sign Bam, fire Pat Riley.
For sure.
It's like.
For sure. I mean, Bam's a star. Like, Bam's a star.
Yeah. Bam is. He's what they wanted Hassan Whiteside to be in Miami.
And that never was going to happen. Because Hassan don't have the work ethic, and he ain't got the brains to be a guy like a Bam Adebayo. Let's just be honest. And I understand what Muhammad is saying with, Well, if they don't sign him this year, De'Aaron Fox, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, they're all getting paid their extensions this year because they're part of the 2017 class. I would feel disrespected if I was Bam, though, because I'd be like, well, I'm a team player, but I've done enough to get paid. So he may hold some resentment towards the team, but if they win, I don't think it's going to matter, and he's eventually going to sign anyway, right?
Yeah, no, they're signing him. Like, just get that out. Get that out of any stratosphere. He will be signing back with the Miami Heat, and even if it's to trade him for Giannis, but he is going to sign back with the Heat.
Someone said, "Suns crack is on special?" Question mark.
Hey, I'll come back to this podcast when they make the playoffs.
What other coaches are available that run fast-paced offense that would fit the Kings? Well, the best guy was George Karl, and he's no longer available, and he's not coming back. God bless his soul. With the problem that he had medically, with the cancer and all that, he's not coming back. So it's just kind of silly to talk about coaches right now with the Kings in the midst of a playoff run. Let's not get into that. Kings have chemistry at the moment. Too many juggling pieces. Oh, Kings have chemistry at the moment. Too many juggling pieces with the virus and quarantine. Can they put it all together? So he's asking, my guy Edwards asking, can they pick up where they left off, John?
Definitely. And the biggest thing about this is I don't think the chemistry is going to be an issue because they all know each other and they play with each other. The biggest thing with this NBA bubble is the amount of rest that these players have gotten. So they've gotten 2.5 months of rest. And this is why I'll say my other thing. The Lakers are going to win the championship because LeBron James had 2.5 months off.
Are they beating the Clippers?
Then he's going to play basketball.
Are they beating the Clippers?
Yes. They're winning the championship. Lakers are going to win the championship.
God damn. I'm not buying stock, man. I'm not buying stock.
People aren't going to buy. But the thing is, they've had so much time off that you may think that they look rusty now, but they're going to get on the court when it comes to real basketball, and it's going to be a whole different level that they put out there. Because these scrimmage games are just scrimmages. When they know it's for real, I feel that the Kings are going to be able to put it all together and play the basketball how they play basketball. Fast pace.
I don't care about scrimmages. I feel like the Lakers are a great team. I just feel like the Clippers are better. I just feel like from top to bottom, they got three mother hovers who are just animals down the stretch. And I as a coach would have a lot of faith in putting the ball in any of these dudes' hands to make the play. And the play can mean making the pass or making the shot. Right? And
you're forgetting the most important thing.
What?
Those referees. The NBA.
Kawhi gets calls, bro. Kawhi gets calls.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna get LeBron calls.
But he's the one player who is a kryptonite of a LeBron James. He's the one player I feel comfortable guarding LeBron James. He's the only one. He's that good.
I just think I think it's gonna be Lakers Bucks, and they're gonna win.
And I feel like it's gonna be Clippers Bucks, and then I don't know who's gonna win between Clippers and the Bucks. But real quick on the Clippers or on the Lakers, I've said this from the beginning of the year. After LeBron James and Anthony Davis, there is a huge drop-off in talent and production. And I don't see how Kyle Kuzma, Danny Green, Alex Caruso will pick it up in big-time moments with no fans to really get them riled up. I just don't see it. They're role players. Kyle Kuzma and Alex have never been in these type of situations. Danny has. But see, Danny's just a utility player. He's very good at what he does. But they need Kyle or Alex to be big time.
Danny Green legitimately helped the San Antonio Spurs win a championship with his shooting percentage from the 3-point line. That's what he's there for. He's there to make 3-pointers in the playoffs. And I feel like, there is a drop in talent level. But I just think LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to be enough. That I don't know why. I just feel, and I'll go even to saying with the Kobe Bryant thing. I think there's more to it than just physical basketball. I think it's a mental thing that they have, that they know that this is a season where if they win it all, it's going to be a whole different level of excitement and and respect, and they want to do it for Kobe. And as little as that may sound, people be like, it ain't basketball. It's still big.
Someone said, can't wait for Dion Waiters to sink the Lakers. That's what I'm
Waiters
saying.
is a
Like,
walking bucket.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're depending on Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith. Come on, John. I can't trust the Lakers, man. I'm going to trust Montrezl Harrell and Luke Williams to come off the bench, destroy the Lakers bench, and I'm going to trust Kawhi Leonard to be the best basketball player in the world. I just feel like Kawhi is just the best basketball. Well, Giannis is, but he don't play in the West. So, Kawhi is the best West. To me,
Kawhi's
it's
super
Giannis.
nice. Like, watch. Well,
It's Giannis, Kawhi, and LeBron. And I know you got LeBron. Who's number 2, Giannis or Kawhi?
Giannis.
Okay, so
Giannis
you got
and then Kawhi.
Okay. If the Kings make the playoffs, how many games do you think they'll win against the Lakers? And does Buddy start if we make the playoffs?
No to Buddy starting. No to any wins.
You think they'll get swept?
Yeah.
They won't get one?
Not one.
Oh, shit. They won't get one. Hey, Luka on top of me says, you crazy, man. They'll get one. They'll get one.
The thing, like, I was just thinking about it today, that home court advantage in these playoffs mean absolutely nothing. It's
That's
just
true.
seeding.
That's true.
Like, home court advantage is nothing. So, yeah, maybe they, like, if you think about it, they should be able to sneak 1 or 2, because there's no home court. Like you say, without fans, it's a whole different, it's a whole different mental
with fans,
state.
Guaranteed 1 win at Golden One Center. And you know it. Like, the energy would have been insane in there. But without fans, that's actually a great point. That's actually redundant to what I said. Without fans, the Kings could get swept, because the fans is what really makes the role players go. And I don't know if LeBron and AD on different levels. It'll be a great learning experience for Buddy and De'Aaron and Bogey. But
the stepping stone would be tremendous if they could hit that last playoff spot, regardless of how many games they play in the playoffs. That's just confidence being built for the upcoming seasons.
For sure, man. I just feel like if the Kings, again, people want to talk about championships. I'm like, bro, you have to crawl before you walk and run, right? Let's make the playoffs first. Playoffs before we start talking championship. Like, you have to make the playoffs, create that credibility for your organization, create that experience for your star player in De'Aaron Fox and for his counterparts in Buddy and Bogey, and we'll go from there. Let's not force the issue and talk about, well, we got to do this. No, first make the playoffs, and this is a great opportunity to end a 13-year drought in the bubble. There's 8 games, and they begin on Friday. And I feel like the Kings need to go 5-3 at the bare minimum, 6-2 to solidify the 9th spot. How many games do you think the Kings should win?
Should win?
Or
need to win?
Should win, yeah. Should.
Man, they got to win them all. Like
8?
If you go 8-0, then you solidify a spot. But I think 5 minimum is what the number is going to be.
5, it has to be, because the Pelicans have an easy-ass schedule.
Yep.
The Suns have a tough schedule? I forget.
I think the Kings have the toughest schedule of...
No, the Blazers have a murder row schedule. The Blazers got...
Well, I wasn't even thinking about them.
And everybody talks about the Blazers. But... And I laugh because Carmelo Anthony, it's like, yeah, he's playing better, but let's not get carried away and say that he's back. Like, he's still a role player, and he's still bottom tier, low end bench player. Like, he's not a high end starter by any means. But people want to talk about, oh, well, he's back. Well, he's in good shape. Well, I'm like, he still can't shoot threes. He's still gonna want to shoot that dumbass long two, which is so inefficient, and he's gonna have Terry Stotts pull his hair out, and that's just the truth.
Yeah, he's not the old Melo. Like, let's just be real. He's not Syracuse Melo. He's not leading the team at all. Like, he's gonna have his little 1 or 2 moments during the game, and that's it.
Exactly. Uh, how much do you think Giles will play if Alex Len comes back?
I think they're gonna play. It's not gonna be heavy minutes, but he's gonna be in the rotation. I think he'll get like 4 minutes to quarter minimum type thing. Like I feel that they think that this is the part where Harry Giles needs to elevate his game, step it up. Because if you think about it, and everyone says it, these rookies who were rookies last season or
Mm-hmm.
not getting heavy minutes, it's almost like they had an entire new off season, and it's like year 2.5 where this is where they should make the leap. So it's like this is where you're gonna see Luka's already made the leap, but don't be surprised if Luka just goes sky high and you're just like, holy crap, like this guy is unstoppable. He's MVP candidate for next season. You know, you're going to see the people who are on the threshold of doing something big blow up in this bubble.
Big facts. And one last thing, I know we said we were going to touch on it. Daquan Jeffries, real quick, your initial thoughts on this guy. I feel like he's going to get 10 to 15 minutes and be solid in those 15 minutes. He's already better than Corey Brewer. And if anybody wants to argue that, it's ridiculous. I know Luke Walton today, after the game, was being very politically correct. He was being a coach, saying, well, Corey's great, kind of like hinting at that he's still going to play, but that they're evaluating Jeffries, and it's like, okay, from the get-go, from the very first scrimmage game, you knew he was already better. Like, let's not get carried away. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Jeffries is better than Corey
Yeah,
Brewer. Period.
I'm going to say this: do not do the Deadman experiment at the beginning of the season,
Fudge.
where it's like you literally put in jeopardy 6 games just because of that. Those some games could have been won, but because of pride and this and politically correct, no. Jeffries is the player to play. I think he needs to come in. He's behind Buddy and Bazemore type thing. Like you put him on the floor in defensive situations, he's gonna do what he has to do. You see how he's slashing to the basket. He's just playing fearless right now, and that's what you need in this situation. People who are going to be fearless and do their job.
100%. 100%. And I feel the same way. I feel like 10, 15 minutes every game, and you know what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get great defense. You're going to get him attacking the glass offensively. He's so good at that. He just knows when to time, and he just knows when to cut. Those are high basketball things that, a lot of these players don't really do. And they act sometimes when you talk, oh, yeah, well, I should have done this. Well, why the hell don't you do it? Do you not watch film? And I feel like the development of Daquan in Stockton has really helped him. A shout out to that entire coaching staff. They've done a marvelous job with this man. And right now, he's opening up a lot of eyes, man. And I know a lot of NBA teams are like, well, if the Kings don't sign him,
We got
yeah,
him.
we'll accept you
he's
with
he's
open
he's
arms
gonna
over
be on
here.
a yeah, he's gonna be on an NBA roster next season, hands down. Like it's no question. And this is where some people are saying, oh, it doesn't matter if my team was in this bubble of the 20. Yes, because now you get to push it to 15 men on the roster, and you get to see those G League players that you had,
Yep,
the Jeffries, and you're like, oh, he actually is developed and he could play. And now
exactly.
we know what we have, and that's the biggest thing. And like you say, it's a process. You got to crawl before you walk, before you run. This is going to help speed up Sacramento's development with some of these players that they had them in the G League. They didn't. The main coaching staff didn't really know what they had
Mm-hmm.
until now. And now you're having him one-on-one workouts every day with the coaching staff and the seeing what type of player he is, what type of person he is, and it's just going to be the sky's the limit for a player like him to be able to come in and contribute to the Kings.
I can't say it any better. A perfect example of a perfect development, world-class organization, the Miami Heat. That organization finds diamond in the roughs all the time. I mean, just look at their core players.
Kendrick Nunn.
Yeah,
It's
just
like
all of them. Like, they were all either 14 and up, or second rounders, or undrafted guys. Like, they know how to develop basketball players. Let's take a page out of their book and start developing these guys to fit into what the Kings are doing and to complement what they already have. And I feel like Daquan could be the first one, the blueprint of what a successful organization can do. And as you said from the very start, John, they're trying to build this culture, and he is one of the first guys who can be that blueprint into something special for this organization, man. And the last question was from our basketball's own account. I'm gonna give one last question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, John?
Me?
Yeah.
Man, hopefully my website is blown up enough where either I sell it for a lot of money or we're getting a lot of production jobs to do things back home and helping out just because you see we help back a lot of the basketball talent back home with these tapes. So I want to be able to get back more in the community and do some camps, year-round camps, and showcases and games. There's a lot of ideas to do, but I see myself doing the same thing I'm doing now. I can't even lie, like covering sports, but hopefully at a top-notch level where it's internationally respected and people know when they come to the Bahamas, they have to go to 10th year seniors and know that to be able to get any of the sporting stuff.
Respect. That is gold, brother. That is gold, man. Uh, is there any plug that you want to talk about? What type of things are you guys focusing on now with this pandemic? What type of content are you still providing? Let's get some details on that.
Yeah, well, with this, we're just still trying to focus. There's still a lot of sporting things going on with Bahamian athletes. So we have a lot of overseas players that are signing contracts. So, we're letting people know what's going on with that. Track and field is another big thing where we have Sean A. Miller, Weibo, and Stephen Gardner, who are two of the world-class sprinters, gold medalists in the world championships, gold medalists in the Olympics. So they're having events. So it's slow, but we still have our international events going on with local Bahamians that we're able to still get out there. It's just like summer to us is one of the biggest deals because there's something called Summer of Thunder where the college teams come from the States to play exhibition games. That got canceled this year because of the pandemic, and it's just like it sucks because some of those kids play in those games and it helps them tremendously to get looks and offers and actually go sign pro somewhere. So it's like it's a big hit, but we're still trying to do what we can do with exposing Bahamian athletes worldwide.
Absolutely, man. 100%. Love your country, man. I mean, it was a blast last summer when I had the privilege to go cover the Elite 24 camp with Buddy Hield and you guys. It was just so fun. These memories, I'm gonna take them to the grave. The friendships that we developed with the coaching staff, awesome people. Man, shout out to all those guys. Also, huge shout out, real fast before we end the show, to Bielita. He's been very, very good for the Kings. He's exactly the modern day big that you're looking for in terms of a stretch big. The dude is very skilled, very underrated. He's very underappreciated by a lot of fans because he's slow or he's methodical. It's like, okay, well, he gets the job done. Like, he knows
Yeah,
how to get by you at 0%. Like, he's just that smart, though, right? He uses angles to his
yeah.
advantage.
I feel with a player like him, if you don't talk about a player, they're doing the job properly. And that's the biggest thing with him. We don't really talk about him, but we know what type of important piece he is to the Kings. The Kings go nowhere without him. Let's just put it that way. If he goes down, just
Done.
kiss it goodbye.
Done. He's been so reliable for this organization, and I expect nothing less from my guy. Man, me and him have some great conversations. Awesome family, man. Just awesome dude off the court and on the court. He's been a beast. He's been a beast, man. And today he was big with that big time 3-pointer. And anytime they go small and they put him at the 5, he's such a dangerous threat. He just spaces out the floor so much for your main guy like Buddy and De'Aaron and Bogey. He knows when to make the right pass. The dude steps out from, geez, like so far. I mean, this guy is such a
35 feet.
great shooter. Just such a
That's
great
like the Rockets game when he hit the game winner against the Rockets. It's just like
Oh
he
my
knows how to shoot.
goodness.
It doesn't look the best, but he knows how to shoot the basketball. He knows his range.
1,000%, man. And again, Thank you guys so much for all the support. We appreciate it. Slap that like button if you haven't already, or just like if you didn't like anything that we said. It doesn't matter. It helps the algorithm either way. Drop a review on iTunes. This will be available a little bit later tonight. We appreciate John from 10th Year Seniors. Make sure you guys follow him on Instagram and visit the website if you are interested in Bahamian culture, Bahamian sports. I appreciate you, brother, man. Let's do this again. If you have a chance, I'd like to bring you on weekly, bro, because I love having our conversations, man. It's always a blast having you on.
Yeah, man, I can't wait till we have this one when the Suns make the playoffs.
Man, let's regroup next week and see how far the Suns and Kings make it, and then we'll break that down.
All right.
All right, brother. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.